If I told you that for the past 20 years you've been lied to, what would you think? Every time you failed at losing weight, couldn't stick to a habit, or didn't reach your goals, everyone said it was because you lacked willpower. But Harvard University's latest research proves that willpower is nothing but a scam. And here's the kicker: while you've been beating yourself up for having weak willpower, the people who actually succeed have been using completely different strategies that have nothing to do with self-control. In fact, they barely use willpower at all. What I'm about to share with you will completely shatter everything you thought you knew about changing your life. Over the next 30 minutes, I'm going to use hard scientific evidence to completely flip your understanding of self-control and give you 3 genuinely effective alternatives that actually work. These aren't feel-good theories or motivational fluff. These are research-backed methods used by the top 3% of people who successfully transform their lives. Have you ever experienced this? You bought a gym membership but never went. You planned to wake up early but couldn't stick to it for even a week. You tried to quit smoking or drinking but kept relapsing. You set New Year's resolutions that were forgotten by February. If any of this sounds familiar, you're not alone, and more importantly, it's not your fault. What I'm sharing today isn't motivational content or feel-good advice. This comes from cutting-edge behavioral psychology, research from Stanford, Harvard, and other top universities. These institutions have spent millions of dollars and decades of research to understand what actually creates lasting change in human behavior. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why willpower fails 97% of people, and you'll learn the secret weapons that the successful 3% actually use. You'll discover why your brain is literally working against you when you rely on willpower, and how to work with your psychology instead of fighting it. Let me start by showing you what happens inside your brain when you try to use willpower. Recent neuroimaging studies have revealed something shocking. When you force yourself to resist temptation or push through discomfort, your prefrontal cortex lights up like a Christmas tree. This is the part of your brain responsible for executive function, decision-making, and self-control. But here's the problem. This area of your brain consumes massive amounts of glucose, your brain's primary fuel source. Within minutes of sustained willpower use, your glucose levels drop significantly, and your ability to maintain self-control plummets. Think of willpower like a muscle that gets exhausted with use. But unlike your biceps, which can recover overnight, your willpower muscle gets weaker throughout the day and takes much longer to restore. This is why you can resist the donut in the morning, but cave to the ice cream at night. It's not a character flaw, it's basic neuroscience. For decades, psychologists promoted the glucose theory of willpower, suggesting that consuming sugar could restore self-control. But recent studies have completely debunked this. Even when participants' blood sugar was restored, their willpower remained depleted. This led researchers to a startling conclusion. The problem isn't just biological, it's psychological. Your brain has learned that willpower is a limited resource, so it conserves it like a battery-saving mode on your phone. Now, let's look at what successful people actually do differently. Stanford researchers tracked over 5,000 individuals for 10 years, comparing those who successfully maintained major life changes with those who failed. The results were eye-opening. The successful group didn't have stronger willpower. In fact, they used willpower significantly less than the failed group. Instead, they relied on 3 completely different strategies that made change feel almost automatic. The first strategy is environmental design, essentially making your environment do the work so you don't have to. Environmental psychology shows us that our surroundings influence our behavior far more than our conscious decisions. Your environment is constantly sending signals to your brain about what actions to take, and these signals operate below your conscious awareness. Here's how powerful this is. Researchers found that simply placing healthy snacks at eye level in a cafeteria increased consumption by 43%, while moving unhealthy options to less convenient locations decreased consumption by 36%. No willpower required, just smart environmental design. Let me walk you through how to apply this to your life first. Design your physical environment to support your goals. If you want to exercise more, lay out your workout clothes the night before. Keep your running shoes by the door. Remove the friction between you and the behavior you want. If you want to eat healthier, reorganize your kitchen so healthy foods are the most visible and accessible options. Put fruits and vegetables at eye level in your fridge and move processed foods to harder-to-reach places. Second, optimize your digital environment. Your phone and computer are constantly shaping your behavior through notifications, app placement, and available options. Delete social media apps from your phone if they're distracting you. Use website blockers during focused work time. Reorganize your home screen so productive apps are more prominent than entertainment apps. I want to share 3 real-world examples of environmental design in action. Sarah, a marketing manager, wanted to read more books but kept getting distracted by her phone. Instead of relying on willpower to ignore her device, she created a charging station in another room and replaced her bedside phone with physical books. Within 2 months, she was reading 30 minutes every night without any internal struggle. James struggled with late-night snacking that was sabotaging his health goals. Rather than trying to resist cravings through pure willpower, he redesigned his kitchen. He moved all processed snacks to a basement storage area and filled his main kitchen with pre-cut vegetables, fruits, and healthy alternatives. His late-night eating habits changed automatically because the environment no longer supported the old behavior. Maria wanted to develop a consistent meditation practice, but kept forgetting or making excuses. She set up a dedicated meditation corner in her bedroom with a comfortable cushion, calming lighting, and a meditation app queued up on a tablet that stayed in that space. The environmental cue made meditation feel natural and inevitable rather than forced. The second strategy is identity-driven change, transforming how you see yourself at a fundamental level. This might be the most powerful method of all, because it works with your brain's natural desire for consistency rather than against it. Your brain has a deep psychological need to act in ways that align with your identity. When there's a conflict between your behavior and your self-concept, you experience what psychologists call cognitive dissonance, an uncomfortable mental tension that your brain desperately wants to resolve. Here's the key insight. Most people try to change their behavior first and hope their identity will follow. But research shows the opposite approach is far more effective. Change your identity first, and your behavior will naturally align. Instead of saying, "I want to lose weight," successful people say, "I am someone who takes care of their body." Instead of, "I want to write a book," they say, "I am a writer." The subtle shift from wanting to do something to being someone who does that thing creates a powerful psychological pull toward consistent action. Let me give you a 5-step framework for identity transformation. Step 1. Define your desired identity with precision. Don't just say, "I want to be healthier." Say, "I am someone who prioritizes their physical and mental well-being through daily movement and nourishing food choices." Step 2. Identify the smallest behavior that someone with this identity would do consistently. What would a person who prioritizes their well-being do every single day, even on their worst day? Maybe it's drinking a glass of water upon waking, or taking a 5-minute walk. Step 3. Perform this small behavior daily, while explicitly connecting it to your identity. Each time you do the action, remind yourself, this is what someone who prioritizes their well-being does. You're literally rewiring your brain to see yourself differently. Step 4. Gradually expand the behaviors that align with this identity. As the small action becomes automatic, add slightly more challenging behaviors that fit your new self-concept. Step 5. Collect evidence of your new identity. Keep a record of identity-aligned actions, no matter how small. Your brain needs proof that you are who you say you are. The beautiful thing about identity-driven change is that it becomes self-reinforcing. Each action that aligns with your new identity strengthens your belief in that identity, which makes future-aligned actions more likely. It's a positive feedback loop that builds momentum over time. The third strategy is social responsibility, leveraging the power of community and accountability to maintain consistency. Humans are fundamentally social creatures, and we have a deep psychological need to maintain our reputation and live up to others' expectations. This isn't vanity, it's evolutionary psychology. For thousands of years, being accepted by our social group was literally a matter of survival. Your brain still carries these ancient programs, and you can use them to your advantage. Research shows that people who make public commitments are significantly more likely to follow through than those who keep their goals private. But there's a right way and a wrong way to use social pressure. The key is creating accountability that feels supportive rather than judgmental. You want people who will check in on your progress and celebrate your wins, not people who will shame you for setbacks. Here's how to build effective social accountability. First, choose your accountability partners carefully. Look for people who have successfully made similar changes themselves, who understand the challenges you're facing, and who can provide both support and honest feedback. Avoid people who might sabotage your efforts, even unconsciously, because they feel threatened by your growth. Second, make specific public commitments with clear timelines. Instead of saying, "I'm going to get in shape," say, "I commit to exercising for 30 minutes 4 times per week for the next 8 weeks." Post this commitment on social media, tell your family and friends, or join an online community focused on your goal. The key is making it specific enough that your progress can be measured, and general enough that minor adjustments don't feel like failures. Third, create regular check-ins and progress reports. This could be weekly photos, daily habit tracking shared with a partner, or monthly progress updates to your social network. The frequency matters less than the consistency. Your brain needs to know that others are paying attention and that your reputation is tied to your follow-through. I recommend 3 platforms for building social accountability. First, find local communities or clubs related to your goal, running groups, book clubs, professional associations. In-person connections often provide the strongest accountability because the social bonds are deeper. Second, use apps like Stick or Beeminder that let you put money on the line and involve friends in tracking your progress. Financial stakes combined with social pressure create powerful motivation. Third, join online communities on Reddit, Facebook, or Discord, where people share similar goals and provide mutual support and accountability. But be careful of one major pitfall: don't let social sharing become a substitute for actual action. Some people get so much satisfaction from talking about their goals and receiving encouragement that their brain treats the social recognition as achievement of the goal itself. Share your process and progress, not just your intentions. Now, let me show you how to combine these 3 methods for maximum effectiveness. The key is to start with environmental design because it requires the least ongoing effort, then layer in identity work to create internal motivation, and finally, add social accountability to maintain consistency over time. For different types of goals, emphasize different approaches. For habit formation, focus heavily on environmental design. For skill development, emphasize identity transformation. For long-term projects, prioritize social accountability. But always use all 3 to some degree. Here are the 5 most common mistakes people make when implementing these strategies. Mistake number 1, trying to change too much too fast. Start with tiny environmental changes, small identity shifts, and low-stakes social commitments. Build momentum before increasing intensity. Mistake number 2, neglecting the emotional component. These strategies work best when you address the underlying emotions driving your current behaviors. If you're stress eating, environmental design alone won't solve the stress. Mistake number 3, giving up after the first setback. Expect obstacles and plan for them. The goal isn't perfection, it's building systems that help you get back on track quickly when you inevitably slip up. Mistake number 4, focusing on outcomes instead of systems. Don't measure your success by whether you've achieved your final goal yet. Measure it by how consistently you're implementing these 3 strategies. Mistake number 5, trying to do it alone. Even if you're naturally introverted, some form of social support or accountability will dramatically improve your chances of success. Let me leave you with some advanced techniques for those who want to take this further. Use temptation bundling. Pair behaviors you need to do with behaviors you want to do. Only listen to your favorite podcast while exercising, or only watch Netflix while doing household chores. Create implementation intentions, specific if-then plans that automate your responses to common situations. If it's 7 a.m., then I immediately put on my workout clothes. If I feel stressed, then I take 3 deep breaths before reaching for food. Use the 2-minute rule for building new habits. Make the initial version of any habit take less than 2 minutes to complete. Want to read more? Start with reading 1 page. Want to meditate? Start with 1 minute. Want to exercise? Start with putting on your workout clothes. The goal is to establish the behavior pattern, not to achieve the full outcome immediately. Remember, willpower is a scarce resource, while environment, identity, and social responsibility are sustainable sources of motivation. The people who succeed long-term don't have superhuman self-control. They have superior systems that make good choices easier and bad choices harder. Here's your key takeaway. Lasting change happens when you stop fighting your psychology and start working with it. Your brain is designed to conserve energy and maintain consistency. Use environmental design to reduce the energy required for good choices. Use identity transformation to harness your brain's need for consistency. Use social accountability to leverage your natural desire for acceptance and reputation. Your action step for tonight is simple. Choose one method and design your first small change. Maybe it's moving your phone charger to another room, or writing down 1 sentence about who you're becoming, or texting a friend about a commitment you're making. Don't overthink it. The power is in starting, not in perfecting. In the comments below, share which method you're going to try first. Are you going to redesign your environment, work on your identity, or build social accountability? Tell me about your biggest behavior change challenge, and I'll give you personalized advice in the comments. If this video helped shift your perspective, give it a thumbs up to help other people who are struggling with the willpower myth find these evidence-based alternatives. If you want to see more content that challenges conventional wisdom with cutting-edge psychology research, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Next week, I'm diving deep into the specific implementation details for each of these methods, including step-by-step guides and troubleshooting common problems. Thank you for investing 30 minutes in your personal growth. Remember, you're not broken and you don't lack willpower. You just needed better strategies. Now you have them. I'll see you in the next video.